everybody, and welcome to Alter States with Rachel. And I'm Rachel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's April the 10th. So excited to be here. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Brigitte. Hi, Kelsey. All right. Is everybody in Romper Room? Because I got a story to tell y'all, okay? I'll tell y'all why I look the way I look because I feel the way I feel, okay? So, Rachel, with her little candy ass, like I'm speaking about me, my third person here. So, y'all, I might drink, but I don't do drugs and never really have. Can say I never have. Well, Todd has been taking some gummies to help him sleep at night because he's having some pain. And a lot of his buddies have been giving him a hard time because it's like, oh, those gummies aren't nothing. They're like, oh, that ain't nothing. You should take this. And so he's like, yeah, I don't think they're doing anything. And so he gave me one last night, kind of like in passing. I thought, okay, take it. It was Easter. They were eating candy. And that was about 10 o'clock last night. So stayed up, done some invoicing, watched a little bit of TV. I done a lot of energy work on Todd because, again, he's not sleeping good. He's not feeling good. So I was doing a lot of energy work on him. I woke up this morning about 6 o'clock and I noticed that my energy was being pulled towards the right. And I thought, oh, wow, Todd is still pulling on my energy. I must not have disconnected, but it's okay. I know he's not feeling well. And I was like, okay. So then he is selling some equipment and somebody was going to be coming by this morning to get it. And he's like, hey, will you go out there and deal with it? Because I'm not feeling well. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I get up, I start getting ready. I go in the bathroom. Everything's fine. Now I have been having like sinus stuff going on and I've been having issues with my eyes. And I was looking in the mirror and I couldn't see my eyes. So then I'm like, okay, it's just my eyes. They're just got, jacked up because I've been outside working. And I go to brush my teeth and I'm brushing my teeth. And then all of a sudden I just came to and I'm like, oh my God, where did I go? And of course, with me and my altered states of mind, I can go into altered states of consciousness super, super easy, which is one reason why I've never done drugs or psychedelics. So I basically like kind of went lucid while I was brushing my teeth. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on? What's going on? So normally whenever I'm aware but not aware, that then somebody has kind of like hijacked me and I'm like, somebody's in my body that ain't supposed to be there and they want to talk and all this. And so I was having all the sensation on my arm. I feel like I was being pulled, just all these really weird things that I'm trying to figure out while I'm brushing my teeth and getting ready. And I'm like, okay, energetic's crazy right now. Because I was kind of picking up on that whenever I was doing energy work on him. I was like, there's a lot of craziness going on. It's just, I'm just tapped into it still. So then I go to like put a little bit of makeup on and kind of went out again. And I was like, something ain't right. So I go to get Todd and I was like, hey, something is wrong. This is what's going on. Because there was one time where I went into a trance and it was kind of like nerve wracking. And it's not like I got stuck there or anything like that. If anything, once I know I'm safe, I'm kind of like, what is this? How does this feel? Trying to learn from it. And, but like this one particular time before, it was nerve wracking. And so anytime like just out of the blue, like that happens, I went and got Todd. It's like, hey, something's going on. And he just starts laughing. And I said, no, I'm dead serious. I said, I can't walk straight. I said, I feel like I'm drunk and I'm blacking out. I said, I'm going like into lucid states of consciousness. And he's like, get back in the bed. And I'm like, no. And then I go and I get back in bed, my clothes still on and everything. And I'm like, did this just happen? Because I really didn't even remember like getting ready. I didn't remember getting back in the bed, all these different things. And I remember him getting up and I was like, do you think it was that gummy? And he goes, no, there's no way. And I was like, something is wrong. And so then I was like, yeah, it was the gummy. And he goes, just go back to sleep. And so then I started to go back to sleep. And y'all, as soon as I started to go back to sleep, I was moving into like astral projection. And so I immediately called all my guides and I was like, I do not consent to this. This is not cool. I'm not doing this. I'm not partaking in this. It's not that it scared me, by no means. And I know that a lot of people astral project at night and they're not even aware of it. But it's really kind of alarming how easy it was. And now that makes me really kind of like nervous when I think about people taking these gummies and they are astral projecting. That is really, I don't want to say unsettling, but I'm like, wow. And so I don't really know what all this opens you up to. And it's not like I'm being like a Bible thumper and being so concerned, like, oh, drugs is the gateway and this is the gateway. But it was definitely opening me up to something. And I mean, it was fine because even at some point I was like, hey, if I'm having these lucid thoughts and I'm traveling, I was trying to go to time periods. So I was going to different time periods. So I was doing like a little bit of this, but I thought, yeah, it was really kind of freaky. So I'm going to have to, I don't know. It was scary. So word to the wise, don't do it. Hi, Carol. Hope that happens to you. Well, Sandy, so growing up, everybody smoked pot. And so I was like, nah, I just, everybody does it. So it's like, and I don't have to, like, I can just like go into altered states, into different wherever without anything. So that's why I have to be super careful. So, yeah. But that was really weird. Yeah, Hope. I didn't get to come yesterday, so I didn't get to talk to you because I know you sent me that message and I was going to tell you some stuff. Yeah, Carol, the fact that I felt so out of control and that I was really, feeling leaving, that was nerve-wracking. And I was like, I don't know. It's funny enough with my spirit guides and their names. So I'm sure Todd was like, I'm sure once he heard the names, he was like, oh, no, she's being for real. She's mad. Hey, Elise. All right. So who wants to go first? So I'm still tired from that, y'all. That was my hardcore drug trip here. And all I did was brush my teeth and try to travel different time periods. So how was y'all's Easter? Yeah. Yeah, Sandy. And my brother has some sort of drug psychosis and he's not doing meth anymore that I'm aware of, but he will still vape and he'll still smoke pot and it still puts him into a psychosis type thing. And nobody in my family believes that because they're like, weed is a herb, it's blah, blah, blah. But I really, kind of like going back to bloodlines and sensitivities and just different things. I do believe, my family, like me, and I tell my boys, I was like, we're super sensitive to things, drugs. Please be careful. So, yes, and it's real sad, Hope, and that is one reason why I did not go yesterday. I didn't know he was going to be there, but I can't handle that. So, not that I can't handle it emotionally, I can't handle it. I'll like go into whoop his butt. And that's not good at Easter. I've already done that at Christmas. Okay. Yes, it's good to be back. All right, Carol. I'll start with you. What does Carol need to know? What does Carol need to know? Okay. Yeah, let's do the chakra cards too. All right. What chakra and what you got coming up with it? Yeah, well, I looked at it and they're like, I should have only took half of it. And I took a whole one. So yeah. Yeah. But it's okay. Hi, Pearl. It was an experience. So it's definitely experience. You know, I know that there is so much like energetic entities right now. So I don't know that's just, like I said, I know people, astral travel and they go different places whenever they sleep. And I'm sure that there's some sort of protection, but it's like, dang, if you can eat a gummy and, start traveling, that, I don't know. That just was like, I don't know. It's like on TikTok, everybody is creating these energetic beings for friends. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that, people. You shouldn't be doing that. That's not good. Okay. So let's focus on Carol. What does Carol need to know? What chakra and what issues does Carol need to work on this week? All right, Carol. So, Carol, this is your crown chakra: awareness, attention, reality, and connection. And the key word is presence. So that is your crown chakra. And it is a picture of a girl who is staring at a bee. So you can see the bee. And there's that beehive, that's that collectedness. So I'm kind of taking that, Carol, as whenever I think of bees, I think of a beehive and they're all working together, and it's really kind of hard to see one because all you hear is the buzz and the noise, and it's like very overwhelming. But then it's like when you think about it, there is only one. There's only the queen bee. So it's like even with the hive, with all the bees together make up something, but it's still that one, the queen, that, that if she's not there, then it doesn't work. So you still have to be present. All right, Carol, pull 5 cards. So you have got the 8 of Wands, and this is fast moving energy. We've got the Empress, major arcana. She's it's a 3. It's fertility, it's abundance, it's Venus, it's it's all these possibilities. And I love her because she's the queen and she's getting stuff done and she's taking care of things, but she's not rigid. She's like laid back, she's relaxed. Okay. Then it is followed by the 3 of Pentacles. And so this is all about like network completion. It is another 3. It is like teamwork, collaboration, craftsmanship. Then it's the Queen of Pentacles. So she is this person who is resilient, right? She's the one who says that can take a recipe and make like a 7-course Gordon Ramsay type dinner out of it. She probably wouldn't, but she would be able to feed all these people. She's able to take these scraps of material and make covers that are warm. She's able to take, some pictures from a book and turn it into like beautiful wall art. She just takes a little bit of thing from everywhere and just makes something huge and beautiful. That's how I see the Queen of Pentacles. She is resourceful. She is fertile, and it is, creativity. Then it is followed by the Four of Swords. So this is all about like taking a hiatus. Okay. So Carol, hmm, 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 hmm. Carol, I think that this is going back to you being in a caregiver, which I know you're a nurse, but this feels like it's about family. This really, it feels. So, Carol, this is about you being a caregiver to family and that you need to step back and let somebody else be a caregiver. Uh, but I think somebody is nervous about asking to be the caregiver. So I don't know if that's the reason why you stepped up, because you were the nurse and everybody's like, oh, let Carol do it. She's the most educated. She knows how to do this and blah, blah, blah. But it feels like somebody else wants to do it and they're just scared, one, that they can't do it, but they're also scared to ask you to do it. But it feels like they're more scared to do it. Like they don't feel like they have the knowledge. So I don't know if you can step back and be more of a mentor to this person while they are being a caregiver to someone. But that's what it feels like. And it feels like this is super important to this family member who wants to be the caregiver, because it's the way that they can give thanks back or show their appreciation, or it's just something about them connecting to the person that's not well. That's such a specific reading, Carol. All righty. Kelsey, you're feeling off and not sure what's going on. Okay. What does Kelsey need to know for clarity? So what is this feeling off with Kelsey? What does Kelsey need to know for clarity? So Kelsey, what came up is emotions, okay? So this is feelings, expression, moods, and balance. This is, your sacral chakra, your second chakra. What does Kelsey need to know about emotions? And I will say this too while I'm shuffling for Kelsey. I was doing energy work on Todd last night. And yeah, I remember how I was saying we were at the concert and I was getting irritated and I was pulling the energy from the concert, pulling it in and transmuting it and turning it into healing energy. I was doing the same thing with Todd last night because, he's like a willing victim because, he done that to me. So I'm going to get him back. But I was doing the energy work. And so I was pulling all of the chaos that was like in a 2-mile area around my house. And I imagined pulling all that chaos. And of course, while I was pulling it in, I was like, hey, please, let me pull this chaos in, transmute it to healing energy for Todd, but also send it back, this healing energy, to where the chaos needs to go. And it was really, really good because my hands were on fire. So I've been playing around with different things like that. Okay, back to Kelsey with the cards. So if y'all are experienced and feel comfortable to do that, try transmuting it from like chaos energy into whatever seems appropriate. And you really don't even have to give it a name. Just transmute it into a higher vibration. But always send back to those who gave that chaotic energy from. That way you're not leaving them in a void. Okay. What does Kelsey need to know? All right, Kelsey, pull 5 cards. The one in the middle is swords, heartache. So, Kelsey, you have some, whatever feels off, you have some underlying heartache, some grief, or something that you're not dealing with. And I don't know if you're losing weight and these emotions are showing up, or if you are. So what this kind of feels like is like unprocessed emotions, like you didn't deal with them in the first time, and perhaps you stuffed them in your pocket, you stuffed them in your belly, you stuffed them somewhere. I mean, you could have stuck them in the back of your mind. And now that things are quiet, or you're losing weight, or you're just working through other things, that's how it feels. It feels like you are working through other things. So once this get cleared up, then there's room for this emotional thing to come up. So what it just feels like, Kelsey, is that you are just processing some emotional baggage. That's exactly what it feels like. And so where did this come from? Where does this come from? Where does this come from? Where is this coming from? Or what can she do? What can Kelsey do to help process this? So what you can do, Kelsey, is ask how you can process these emotions helpfully, with ease and grace and with clarity. So you're in pain, having lots of migraines, even had your ear turned bright red and hot over the weekend, have lots of grief, not hungry and not sleeping. It sounds like to me that, well, I mean, what I'm hearing intuitively, that you are that you're purging stuff. Well, do like Carol was saying, is be a spectator. And I mean, of course, I say all this, but if you're in pain, go to the doctor, which I know you've been going to the doctor. But it just kind of sounds like I would drink some water, Kelsey, and like bone broth, things to so Kelsey, just immediately I'm thinking like do things to nourish your soul, but like your structure. So if you want to like drink bone broth for your bones, or like work on your structure. You drink 8 ounces of water per day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, take a gummy. Today's Alter States brought to you by. Yeah, exactly what Carol said, Kelsey. I think you need to soothe your body and your soul. I think you are processing stuff, you're processing emotions, and you might not really know where they're coming from. So do that. Just just let it go. Do energy work on your water that you have to drink. I know some people write like symbols and sigils on the jar and even charge the water. But that's exactly what it sounds like. Again, Kelsey, but I mean, that if you're, you can't be having a heart attack going, oh, well, Rachel said this is just processing emotions, so let it go. Hi, Chastity. So, Chastity, are you in Indiana or Evansville? Is that where it was? We sure will. All right, Brigitte. But you know, Kelsey, I think that we are processing a lot of things. You know, everybody talks about like densities and light bodies. I do think that we are purging and processing stuff that we're carrying that we don't realize. And I mean, I don't think we really have to do anything. It's just a matter of it just working and just going. Because I think if you sit there and try and figure out where it's coming from, then that's going to stop it. Obviously, if you're processing stuff, then like you don't have to know. Just say with ease and grace, this goes, and don't worry about where it comes from unless it's coming up. All right, Brigitte. What? No, Elise, but I'll get you next. All right, Brigitte. What chakra card for Brigitte? Ooh, Brigitte. Sexuality. So this is card 13. Ooh. So it's about openness, sharing, beauty, and honor. So I'm going to start doing intimate tarot readings. I just ordered the cards the other day, so I'm excited about that. So I'm going to get in touch with my sexuality and creativity. All right. Brigitte, let's pull some cards. Okay, Brigitte, I pulled 5 cards. So the one in the middle that represents you right now is the Hangman. You know, you need to change your perspective, change the way you perceive things, change your perspective. It's major arcana, you know, it's wisdom and it's self-sacrifice. Just change your perspective. The really cool thing is you've got 2 8s, okay? So you got the 8 of Pentacles, which is about, you know, showing up and doing the good work. It is being redundant. It's mastering your craft, but enjoying your employment. But then it's got the 8 of Cups. And so the 8 of Cups is about walking away, moving on to higher ground. Okay. Then you've got the Hangman. Then it's followed by the Ace of Cups, which is a new emotional beginning. And then it's the King of Wands. Okay. So the King of Wands. Wands is jobs and employment security. This is fire energy. It's passion. It's creativity. So the King of Wands, I always think of him as like the higher chakras, the throat, third eye, and crown. So, Brigitte, with the sexuality, so it's the root. I mean, that's the sacral chakra. So with sexual stuff in the first chakra, the root chakra, that's just about like procreation, like survival. Hey, we have to make more babies. That way we increase the chance of survivability. So whenever sex moves up into the second chakra, that turns into sexuality. That turns into like passion. You're not having sex for procreation. You're having sex for enjoyment. So, Brigitte, you need to like with Tantra, and I know that Tantra is connected to sex, but it's not really. Tantra is about loving everything and enjoying everything. So it's like you need to fall in love with everything again and enjoy it. But I see you as somebody who is kind of sexual. I mean, you kind of like I know, like I get the feeling like you're comfortable in your body, and This feels more like passion and sexuality. So I know you should have shaved your left for springs. So Brigitte, this sounds very, very personable and like I shouldn't go on. It sounds like you know what this is, and I don't need to say anymore. All right, Elise. You already shaved your laser string. All right, for Elise. What chakra does Elise need to work on? All right, Elise, yours is the solar plexus, okay? So it is responsibility. This is self-discipline, empowerment, reliability, and fulfillment. Okay, Elise? So this is the typical seed and growing. So what does this mean for Elise? This is solar plexus. Okay, Kelsey. This is the other thing. Okay, I'll finish with Elise first, Kelsey. All right. Well, Elise, since it came up in your reading too, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So we, our solar plexus, that's where our gut is. And I think we're just, science is just now coming and saying, hey, a lot of our intuitive is from our gut and it's from our heart. But honestly, I think that we feel so much emotion and we feel everything from the world, especially if you're an empath. I really think that it goes in from your stomach. Because I know, like whenever I feel energetic stuff, whenever things want to come in, it's, back here. I can hear different places. But like my stomach, that's where I take a lot of emotions in. So I do think, especially right now, we need to be mindful of our solar plexus. So even if you're in the shower and you want to, whenever you're washing your body, if you want to clean your stomach area, your abdomen, like with intentions, if you want to draw symbols on your stomach, if you want to just say, hey, I don't want to absorb any emotions, or I won't, do it at a slower place. I don't want to be overwhelmed. But I kind of do think that we need to protect our solar plexus. I know a lot of people is like, I got to work on my, throat chakra, my third eye was seeing and, my crown being open. But our solar plexus, that is where like our creativity, that's where everything thrives. But I do feel energetic wise right now that we are taking in a lot of things through our solar plexus. So Kelsey, that could be one of your thing too. Yes, clean diet is really important right now. Eat your vegetables and hydrate with water, and make sure you're taking minerals, good salt, good potassium. Because I've had to be aware of my mineral balance, because I do believe that channeling, you lose minerals whenever you channel. I do think that our body, well, of course our body's electric, but I think that is, I don't know, I just think there's a correlation between the electrons and protons with our body being electric and energy, and there's a lot of things like that in our subtle body. So yeah, it's a different day. All right, Elise. Okay, solar plexus, responsibility. Okay, Elise, the card in the middle that represents you is the 5 of Pentacles. So 5 is pivotal change. I love 5s So it's a way to say, hey, do we feel like we're confident, or do we want to move forward, or do we need to really regroup and then hit it again? Like, where do we need to do? I always think of 5 as estimating. Either we round up or we round down. So you're getting this time to evaluate. So Pentacles are your security, material health, wealth, and money. Okay. This is like a foundation card. Pentacles are foundation cards, like your home, just your foundation. Feeling like you're left out in the cold. So, Elise, the first one is the Ace of Cups. So this is like a new emotional beginning with like a little bit of a struggle. Then it's followed by the Fool, which is just a new beginning. It's new hope. It's adventure, new path, beginnings. Then it's got the Hangman, and then it's got the Queen of Cups. Okay. So, Elise, back to the responsibility. At least what it really feels like is you are carrying too much responsibility for everybody else. Okay. If you're carrying everybody else's bags, then you can't carry your own. If you are carrying everybody else's emotional burdens, if you're just carrying their stuff because, one, you feel like you're strong enough, and that they might not be strong enough, and you're willing to you're willing to like sacrifice yourself for that, then you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to let them carry their own burdens. And I know, like, we all say, oh, be service to others. And it's not being selfish by letting these people carry their own burdens. But you are wearing yourself thin, Elise. And it also feels like you are carrying burdens for a lot of people, but you're keeping them secret from this person. So, like, just for example, if you have kids and you're doing, like paying a little bit of extra money for this kid's bills, but like you're watching this kids more, like you're doing something for everybody, but you're not telling everybody the whole story, because that will cause chaos, confusion, and they'll be jealous. So it feels like you kind of just need to cut these apron strings with whoever this is and let them take responsibility. It's either like they sink or they swim. You can help them if they start to sink, but they need to start swimming on their own. I don't know, again, like, the Hangman, I see this card as a self-sacrifice. And it just feels like you're not doing these people any favors by carrying their burdens. It's appreciative, and that's very nice, but you're just as important, and you need the extra availability of your hands to carry your own burdens right now. Okay. So there you go. There you go, Elise. All right. Who's next? I planted my garden. So I'm going to have a garden of tomatoes, a garden of cucumbers, and zucchini. That's going to be my clean eating. Oh, Sandy, did Wanda give Brigitte the advice on the scavenger hunt? Because she gave it to me too. And I appreciate Wanda, but I was like, no, I'm not doing that. All right, Sonia. Welcome, Sonia. All right. What chakra does Sonia need to work on this week? All right, Sonia, you got your crown chakra, divine consciousness. So it's interconnection, expansion, oneness, and light. And I like that because that kind of looks like a fairy. All right, Sonia. This group is so much fun. You got health issues? Take care of adrenal. You got money problems? Take foot pictures. We can help you with anything. Got a dead body? We can help you. All right. What does Sonia need to know about crown chakra? Okay, so whenever I was shuffling cards, Sonia, and thinking about your crown chakra, I immediately started thinking about you being nervous, being apprehensive, and I'm like, okay, so what's she nervous, apprehensive about? And and so it's kind of like you're nervous and apprehensive about everything. That doesn't really narrow it down, does it? Okay, let's get into the reading. So, Sonia, Ace of Cups. So it's new beginnings, something new emotion, new relationship, but a new emotional beginning, okay? Then it's followed by the Knight of Wands. Wands we know is fire energy, right? It's jobs and employment. It's kind of like where, you get your money every day. So the Knight, he's showing action. And so the Knight of Wands, this is like, Prince Charming. It's proposals. It's like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Like a Prince Charming, Then it's followed by the Seven of Swords. And so swords, this is your thought, your mind, your intellect. This is that air energy. So that means it can be moved fast. And sevens to me are a spiritual number. But here, the Seven of Swords, it's like he's having a loss. Something is being taken away from him, okay? Then it's followed by the King of Wands. And again, Wands is that fire energy. So whenever I think of the king, I think of like the upper chakras. I think of like the crown, the third eye, and the throat chakra. And then it is followed by the moon. And moon is major arcana. And so the moon, this is like unseen, but it's mystery. It's changes. It's trusting your intuition. And then, the moon is an illuminator, just like a star and the sun is. It just changed your perspective. But something about this is the dark. So, Sonia, whenever I was saying like it feels like you're apprehensive or you're nervous about the things, but there's not like one particular thing, it's like everything. So it feels like what you're nervous about, and it feels like you kind of stepping into a role doing something like this, that you are worried about things that are unseen, but they're like on the peripheral. So if it's like, it feels like things out of your control, like right out of your reach. So that's what it feels like. So just because of randomness. So we had this big Great Dane, and huge, intimidating dog. Okay. Huge dog. And when they poop big piles. And so this Great Dane would always poop these big piles of little remembrance of him right in a particular area. And I was like, wow, what's going on? What's he doing? Why is he doing this? So Bubba, the Great Dane, was a scaredy cat. So he would go to the edge of the light. He would go to where the porch light would not reach and it was dark. That's where he would do his business. And that's where he was comfortable, because if he scooted a little bit out, he would be in the darkness. So, Sonia, you reminded me of my Great Dane Bubba, who was taking a crap at the edge of darkness. But that feels like, Sonia, that feels like that's where you're vulnerable, that you go to this edge and like you're apprehensive about it. Things are unseen. There's a little bit of mystery. You don't know what's really out there. And then you stop. And you're standing there going, I so bad want to go out there. I want to explore, but it's dark. So it's something about going to the edge of the light and wanting to go, but you're apprehensive. So, Sonia, you do whatever tools that will make you feel comfortable to step into that darkness. And so the darkness doesn't have to be a bad side. And that's not what I'm saying. It's just something outside of your comfort zone. So figure out some tools. You can call upon a guide to help you with this, and they don't even have to have a name. You can just be very specific to say, hey, I want one of my highest guides to help me assist with this. And if you don't even have to have a name for that, it can be, this is what I want the guide to do. And see who comes forth to help you with going to the edge of where there's no light and it's dark. So there you go, Sonia. All right. All righty. All right, Pearl. Can Pearl get a reading? What does Pearl need to know? I love the fact that I can talk to y'all about me tripping on gummies while I'm brushing my teeth. And I can tell you about my Great Dane Bubba. But that's what it feels like. It feels like, you know, Sonia, that you're going to that vulnerable spot and you're stopping and you're afraid to go any further because it's like, oh, I'm so vulnerable, I'm so scared. And I mean, we all have it, but it's like I don't know. It's like you want to go, but it's like, ugh, I want to, but I can't. All right. So what Pearl? All right, Pearl, yours is throat chakra, creativity, imagination, expression, originality, and passion. Pearl, creativity. So, Pearl, I'm wondering if you are a storyteller, if you're a songwriter, if you tell stories, if you write books. So yeah, I just feel like I had something just shift through me there. See? That's how you confuse somebody. You give them a gummy and you don't know whether you're brushing your teeth or if you're having a mental breakdown or if you're tripping or if like you have this really new ability or this new spirit guide that's trying to get your attention or what's going on. That's how you confuse somebody. Okay, Pearl, back to you. Creativity, imagination, expression, originality, and passion. So, Pearl, I'm wondering if you write songs, if you are a vocal storyteller, like you tell history, if you perform, if you write books, what are you not doing that you should be doing? Like an oral storyteller. Okay, so Carol, the card in the middle that represents you is Major Arcana, the Strength, okay? And so she is just self-love, unconditional love, you know, taking that inner emotion and harnessing it, courage, okay? So you have got the 8 of Wands. So wands we know is jobs, employment, and security. And so here, this is like messages coming in. This is fast moving energy. The 8 of Wands is like speed, quick action. You know, things are changing. Then it is followed by the Knight of Swords. So this Knight of Swords, he's right next to the 8 of Wands. And so this is the only knight that really shows this much action in the deck. And so we know that swords is your thought, your mind, your intellect. It's that air energy. So the Knight of Swords, this is just like a fast person talking, a fast lifestyle or a lifestyle change. But it's something that's like transitioning, like you're pivoting, like you're turning the corner, you're there. Okay. Then strength. Then it is followed by the Knight of Cups. Okay. Again, cups is emotion, feelings, and perceptions. And so knights, they are taking action. Like they've already had the plan. They've already come up with the idea. That's what the page does with the information. So the knights are implementing it. And so the Knight of Cups, this is like, it's kind of like falling in love, but it's like that passion, that creativity. It's moving forward with it. So this is like, if you're artistic, this is going and binds the supplies. This is find your inspiration. Okay. And then it is followed by the 7, and this is major arcana, and this is a Chariot. So the Chariot is about overcoming your obstacles. Okay. So Pearl, you need to find your passion. You need to light that internal fire. And it really feels like that once you kind of make this commitment to, it's not even like you have to find the money. It feels like you just have to find the commitment. Like you have the time. It's just feels like for some reason you don't want to. So I don't know if it's a part of being seen or that part of being vulnerable to say, hey, look, I made this. What do you think about it? Or perhaps you love to make things and then people say, oh, will you make this and make it like this and this and this? And then maybe you don't like doing that because it's like, hey, they just stuffed or snuffed your creativity. Like you wanted to do this, but they took all the fun things away from it. So now it's no longer fun. That's how it feels. It feels like, Pearl, that you did do this work at one time, and then people kind of like just took your joy out of it. And you need to make the decision to get back to do it. And then once you do it, it's going to be like super fast. So if you're wondering how you're going to do it, you don't even have to do it. All you have to do is just make the decision to do it, and it's going to all work out. Like you don't have to try and figure this out. You don't have to figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, where you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. All you have to do is make the decision. Hey, I want to start being creative. I want to find my creativity. I want to find my passion. And since this is like throat chakra stuff, this really feels like your truth. So you need to find your truth, like your true north, and express it. Pearl. So yay, exciting times for you, Pearl. You don't have to worry about how you're going to do it. All you have to do is make a decision to do it, and the universe conspires with you to make it happen. And do it. That way it doesn't happen in a tower moment. It happens in a star moment, right? All right. All righty. Oh, Chastity. That's not, there's so much tragedy. And I'll just say this too. So, I was taking a class here in Atlanta a couple years ago, and this is whenever we were having everything going on with different race groups, just different groups. And there was a lot going on in Atlanta. And so I was taking classes, and in this class was this big mix of age groups. And it's just it was weird because the younger people wanted to rally, and I wanted to rally too, but it was like, it felt different. And so people in the class, they were in an uproar. They were like, we need to do this and we need to do that. And so they were kind of taking the younger people, or the people who wanted to rally, who wanted to take action. They were kind of getting upset with the other people in the class because those people weren't going to the front lines. And I was like, look, I'm still participating in this cause. I'm still doing what I can, but I'm doing it from a distance. I'm holding space. I'm doing this. That is better for me. And that's kind of like how it feels we need to be, that we need to be holding space for everybody right now. I know Jennifer and I was talking after last Saturday, after last Monday, after I didn't do my show. And she was like, all you have to do is step out of the energetic and just like, stop it, break that chain. And it does, and it's like, it's like if you're, all you gotta do is kind of like break the connection, and it might not stop it, but it's going to stop it enough to where they have to regroup. So we can make a difference being on the sidelines and holding light and holding space. So yes. And this other thing is, how can I hold space without judgment? That's what I'm trying to work on. Because I'm trying not to project my fears or anything like that. So just hold space. Hold space. And whatever that is. Yes, Chastity. So how do you get rid of these nightmares, Pearl? You got to face them. Face the nightmares. Ask for clarity before you go to sleep. Ask what the nightmares mean. What is it, a repeating nightmare, or are they different things? Now, I am a big believer that if you have certain nightmares, then that is some form of a psychic attack. And I'm not saying that you're being psychically attacked. I just wanted to say that just in case somebody says, oh, Rachel, nightmares can be psychic attacks. I always use that like as a guidance, like, hey, this is going on and this is going on and that's going on. Maybe I need to do this. So, Pearl, I think that whenever you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, whenever you're like in that hypnagogic state, ask for clarity, ask what the nightmare is wanting. Like, what is it? Is it repeating? Is it a different thing? Do they have a theme? What is it? And are you supposed to do any of this? Are you supposed to just process them? It's still, there's a lot to them. All right, Chastity. Let's do a reading for Chastity. What does Chastity need to know? Chastity, you got sexuality too, okay? And so that's the sacral. Openness, sharing, beauty, and honor. All right. What about sexuality? So, Chastity, I don't know a whole lot about this, but what just came up was sex magic, okay? So you can take whatever resonates with you with that. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because I don't know anything about it, but look up sex magic. Okay, Chastity, pull 5 cards. The one in the middle that represents you is the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords is just like basically you are letting, again, it's like a card of losing, or like you're being taken advantage from, like a loss of something. And so the Swords, this is heartache. It is, it's our anxiety. It's, Okay, I'm just gonna get back to this because it can also mean like betrayal and things like that. This feels okay. So anyway, chastity. The first card is the devil. So the devil we know is just about fears, it's bad habits. He is addiction, greed, envy, obsession, sexual lust. Okay, which is very interesting. Sexual lust because we have the sexuality card. Okay. So then it is followed by the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands, four is all about like stability, foundation, family. The Four of Wands, this is like a networking card. It is a homecoming, celebration, family, friends, reunions. Again, back to the Seven of Swords, feel like you've been taken advantage of, betrayal, like a loss, like somebody stabbing you in the back, just all the anxiety around that. Then it is followed by major arcana of the Fool. So we know that the Fool is the very first card. So this is all about like new beginnings, taking chances, new adventures. It's about hope. It's about faith. And it's about new opportunity and new path. Then it is followed by the King of Swords. Okay. So the sword energy, again, is truth. It's air energy. Like you can cut right through it. So I really love the fact that on one end, you have the devil, which is fear. Okay. Then on the other end, you've got the King of Swords, which is he is all about the truth. So chastity. It's like you can decide, it's like you can decide on like what you want to focus on. And if you start focusing on your loss, your betrayal, then, you know, that's like all fear based. If you can, like, okay, that happened, it is what it is. I'm moving forward. I'm moving towards my truth. And I know, like Chastity, from because we're Facebook friends, that you just, I think you were moving or something. So, you have this new opportunity. You have this new opportunity. And so I'm also getting like the idea or the message of beforehand, certain places were associated like with certain negativity. So like, for example, you might have saw a closet and that, you would have a memory about that. You would have, like there are different fear-based emotional things that were attached with different things. And it's not necessarily about the last house that you were in. It's just like there was so much emotional, like fear, emotion things attached, that you had saw. Like it just brought back all these memories. And so I don't know if this, because it feels like you still left a lot behind. It's still, so I don't know if you were forced to move or you had to move, but it feels like you still left some things there. And I'm not talking about like socks and shoes. It feels like you still left some emotions behind. And and you need to leave them in the past and you need to go make new, and like move towards your new truth. And again, this sexuality, I got sexual magic in the very, very beginning, but this is all about openness, sharing, beauty and honor. And chastity, I think like to be like, find beauty in whatever situation it is, find honor in whatever the situation is, and find gratitude in whatever the situation is. So there you go, chastity. Alrighty. Well, guys, I think that's it because I don't want to keeping our moderator. So Thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out with me. And I'm assuming that Jennifer will be on tomorrow. If not, she'll tell. All right. Bye, guys. See y'all later.